Hi, I'm Carly Radeable, and this is It's Leadership. See what I did there? It's International Thespian Society. Never mind. Today we will be covering a topic of leadership that is crucial for successful teamwork. Da 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 ch da 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 da. Jimmy T is telling me I gotta move on. Anyway, in today's episode, we will be hammering out how to implement the best practices for marketing and promotion. I know as a leader, it can be hard to find the best way to get the word out about your programs, fundraisers, or events. Well, as it turns out, the first step in finding the best way to get the word out is to ask yourself a few questions. These can include, but are not limited to, what is our message? Who is our audience? What's the appeal? How do we turn our ideas into actions? How does Lin-Manuel Miranda do it? Well, in today's episode, we will do our best to help you answer all those questions. However, none of us will ever figure out how Lin-Manuel Miranda does it, and we just have to accept that he's a creative genius with no further explanation. Now, before we begin, I must warn you that marketing and promotion is not a cookie-cutter process. This is because the message each of you is trying to communicate to your peers or the broader public is varied. How you market is dependent on what you are trying to achieve. For that reason, you can make your sell using these general principles, but alter them according to your own needs. For the purposes of illustrating how these guidelines can be used in the real world, I'm going to first describe the principles of marketing step by step, and then explain how the ITO used these techniques to promote Theater in Our Schools month throughout the video. Theater in Our Schools, or TIAS, is a national campaign designed to raise public awareness of the positive impact of theater education and draw attention to the need for more access to quality theater programs for all students. By the way, learn more about TIAS by clicking the link in the description. All right, so the first step to crafting a successful marketing effort is to ask yourself, what is our message? Remember that you must always clearly define what you are trying to achieve in order to decide what methods will best help you achieve your goal. When the ITO planned TIAS, for example, we crafted our marketing plan by always keeping our message in mind. That theater education makes a positive impact and that access to theater education for all students is vitally important. If your troupe is promoting a show, maybe your message is, get your butt in the audience because you want a full house at the next performance. Or if you're marketing your next fundraiser, maybe your message is, come to our bake sale, or else. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, it's important to clearly define what your message is. The next step to creating a successful marketing plan is to ask yourself, who is our audience? One of the most important marketing principles is to learn that you must understand your audience. Are you speaking to your peers or your local school board? You wouldn't speak to an elected official the same way you would speak to your best friends, would you? Of course not. Your friends would think you were super boring if you spoke to them as you would speak to an official, and conversely, an official would think you were unprofessional if you spoke to them as you would speak to your friends. Change how you deliver your message according to who you're targeting. You'll be better at getting your point across this way. Being able to understand what messages and tones work with whom is key to successful marketing and promotion. Are you on information overload? Don't worry, just take it one step at a time and remember, as Mindy Kaling once said, if Europe could figure out a way to do the Euro, I'm confident you can do this. Another important factor in successful promotion is finding the appeal in what you're doing. We all remember our basic ethos, pathos, and logos from our 11th grade English classes, right? Thank you, Miss Kerrigan. Well, I'm about to make this an English crash course. Ready, Jimmy? Ethos, or the ethical appeal, means to convince an audience of the author's credibility or character. Pathos, or the emotional appeal, means to persuade an audience by appealing to their emotions. Logos, or the appeal to logic, means to convince an audience by use of logic or reason. These are the methods of persuasion that as marketers we should learn, live, and love. You may not know it, but the things we learn in school can actually serve us in doing this whole theater thing. Like, I don't know, the whole thing we learned in U.S. history where Aaron Burr shoots former Secretary of the Treasury Alexander Hamilton in an infamous duel, perhaps? The important thing here is you need to go through and establish what about your message is appealing to those that you are selling it to. During TIAS, we used all three methods of persuasion to support our appeal. Ethos was used in the best way possible by casually having the Kelly O'Hara as the spokesperson for our campaign.
Hi, I'm Kelly O'Hara, and I am so proud to support Theater in Our Schools Month.
What better way to get theater students to speak up about the importance of theater in our schools than to have their queen tell them about it, am I right? We use logos by sharing facts and figures to show the difference an arts education makes in a student's life. And lastly, we use pathos by sharing our stories and inviting other theater students across the nation to tell theirs. By combining these three methods, we had a very successful TIAS, and you can find success in your marketing too! The most exciting and our favorite tool is, of course, social media. We all know and love social media, whether we're using it to see playbill updates, see what our friends are up to, and even follow Aaron Tvei's every waking moment. But it is also a great place to get your word out. You've developed a message, now share it! A problem with social media is we struggle to use their strengths, but here's a quick tip to help you. Twitter is best for short messages that get your point across quickly but still keeps it interesting. It's also good to use when sharing links from your other social media. Facebook is best for your novel-worthy posts. You can put the most information out to share on this platform. Instagram is, of course, for your best photos. Use it to bring backstage photos of fun bloopers to your potential audience. Snapchat has recently become a great tool for marketing. You can have friends view your story of quick, fun happenings in whatever it is you're up to. If you haven't added Broadway shows on Snapchat, you are missing out on some great action, let me tell you. Today we talked about developing the message of your marketing campaign and the importance of knowing your audience. We also covered using ethos, ethics, pathos, emotion, and logos logic to appeal to target audiences while promoting. Lastly, we talked about the importance of using social media platforms to get the word out there. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and share. And we hope to see you next time here on It's Leadership.